Welcome back to AI Agentic Bros, and today we are going to be breaking down the basics of an AI agent in n8n. And before we hop into today's video, please check out our AI starter kit if you're looking to start with AI and learn how to make money using AI tools. We also have AI Gen Desk, our AI automation troubleshooting tool that is trained on n8n's documentation. It can give you up to date, accurate answers for your workflow troubleshooting errors. Now, let's hop into today's video. We'll go ahead and pull up an agent node. And today I just want to go over the basic components of an agent in n8n and talk about some of the capabilities that they have. Now, let's go ahead and click on the AI agent. And as you can see, when you first pop it up without a trigger, it automatically has a chat trigger attached to it. Let's go ahead, look at source for the prompt. So basically, where the prompt is coming from, in this instance, it's connected to a chat trigger. So whenever you type in a chat or whenever you kind of have a back and forth, the agent will get the message and it'll have and that's what it will kind of respond to. You can require it to have a specific output format, and then you go to add options, and then system message is the main thing you have to worry about here. Now, let's go out for a quick second and look at the chat model, the memory, and the tools. So this all really depends on what you want to use your agent for. So let's go over chat models. We'll go ahead and hit that. It looks like n8n actually added something new here, a model selector. So maybe depending on the type of message, depending on the type of input, it'll go ahead and select a specific model. Now, there's a plethora of models to choose from here. Obviously, everyone uses good old reliable OpenAI, or you could choose OpenRouter, which allows you to access any of these models using their API key, so you don't have to kind of set up credentials over and over again. Olama chat models are good for locally hosted instances. Mistral is here. Grok is here. This isn't to be confused with Twitter's Grok, Grok. This is a different type of model. The Gemini, DeepSeek, Azure, Anthropic, and then we have the model selector. Let's go ahead and select OpenRouter. Sometimes it can take a bit longer for the agent to call models from OpenRouter. I haven't noticed too much of a difference just yet. Let's go ahead and open this up, and you can go ahead and pick any model you can pretty much think of. I mean, we could look at Claude, Anthropic's models. We can look at Google's, right? They have all of these. We can look for Gemini. We can look for Mistral. That should be on here as well. We can look for DeepSeek, any type of model you'd want. And obviously, when you're going ahead and choosing a model for your tasks, it's important to keep in mind if you want a regular model or a reasoning model. For example, in our app, AI Gen Desk, we are using a reasoning model because it has to take the message or the input from the user and reason with n8n's documentation and come up with a solution to the problem. If you're using it for a more simpler use case, for example, maybe making a LinkedIn post or auto-generating different types of social media posts and captions, you can go ahead and use a simpler model like, for example, GPT-4o. Go ahead and use Claude 4, Claude 3.7, models like that. Now, the memory tab here is only relevant if you're going to be making a chat model. You can go ahead and use the simple memory, or you can go ahead and set up your Postgres. Now, let's go to the tools tab. Is one of the more important components to an AI agent in n8n because this is where you kind of give it the tools you want it to work with. For example, if you wanted to rag documentation to it or different types of knowledge, or even train it on certain types of knowledge, or maybe company specific knowledge, you can go ahead and have it hooked up to a Supabase vector store. If you wanted to have access to a Google Sheet, if you wanted to have access to a Google Doc, you can even give it access to an MCP client. You can go ahead and give it access to pretty much any API as long as you know how to kind of set those headers up in an HTTP node. Um, let's see, there's a bunch of different tools that are already integrated into n8n, and then the real kicker here is you can actually call an entire n8n workflow as another tool. So if you kind of have that concept of agents working for agents, agents calling other agents, or maybe it's just a simple automation workflow that you want to call, that's something that you can definitely do within n8n. So now let's go back here and go to the system message. Now, the system message is really kind of the model, I would say, is the brain. The system message is how you actually want the agent to think. You have to be as specific as possible. I was actually training someone recently, and I explained it to them like this. Think of it as you're using ChatGPT without the ability to kind of chat back and forth with the model. You're basically setting it as a one-time instruction. Every time the agent is given an input, is going to run that input through the system message. Its role, its tone, the format of the output, what it should be looking for, how it should be using the tools that it's given. All of this can be found in the system message. So it's important to be as specific as possible and give it a solid SOP or standard operating procedure. Now, obviously, starting out here with you are a helpful assistant. So, for example, you could say you are an expert LinkedIn article writer. You're going to be given a thoroughly researched outline. Go ahead and write a full LinkedIn article following these guidelines. Say you want it to be between 600 or 700 words. You want it to have certain hashtags. You want it to use specific keywords. Anything that you can specify, you'll go ahead, have that in the system message. I'll say this: when you're looking to build out agents, the main two components that you're going to be making a lot of changes to is one, the model. You didn't first assign the proper model, and two is the system message. Those are the two more important components. And then I'd put the tool as the third. Those are the simple components to an AI agent in n8n. Obviously, if you're going to be using n8n, this no code, low code tool, it makes it very simple and straightforward to kind of create these AI agents. It's up to you to kind of build out the logic, put the model behind the scenes, give it the correct tools, and if it's going to be a chat, give it the correct memory. This makes it very easy and accessible. However, if you run into any issues, make sure you go ahead, check out AI Gen Desk. We have a 25% off code for your first month. Go ahead, check that out. If you're looking to start with n8n, if you're a beginner, if you're an expert, this tool is meant for everyone who is looking to build AI agents and AI automations. Go ahead, check that out. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope to see you soon.